LGBTQ2 plus.
Gay. All right, so just from that little stinger, there's two things I don't care for too much. In that one stinger, Justin Trudeau, my buddy, third Railify Sean, Canadian guy, he's like, no, we're not digging him either. So Justin Trudeau, not a fan. And the LGBTQIA2S plus spirited whatever, kind of clique. I know plenty of people that fit into the LGB. That LGB clique, which is about sexual orientation, who you want to date, love, have intercourse with, whatever. I know plenty of people in that community, and all of them, for the most part, are lovely people. Once you start getting outside of that to the TQIA, you start talking about some needy folks, some folks that are incredibly aggressive, and you're talking about more identity and feelings than you are sexual attraction or orientation, rather. So I don't feel like these things are related, first of all, but that's beside the point. We'll go into that another time, I'm sure. So I'm not anti-gay, okay, but I've got my beef with the LGBTQ community and things that they've been doing lately. So let's go into this article real quick. We mentioned it a minute ago at the opening, but this is from NBC News. It says America's largest LGBTQ rights group plans $15 million swing state blitz to re-elect Biden. We're actually going to talk about the swing states in just a little bit in another article, but we'll read through a little bit of this. The Human Rights Campaign. The Human Rights Campaign is launching a spending push in 6 key states to rally equality voters and warns that many still need to be persuaded to vote for Biden. You guys just need to vote for Biden. For us LGBTQs. Now I was going to go to this later, but I'll go ahead and jump to it. If you're not familiar with who the Human Rights Campaign is or don't remember them, they are, I don't know if they're like the end all be all, for LGBTQ rights, but they are a nonprofit that represents them and their well-being and everything like that. And so this is a graph that they came up with back in, I think it was June of last year, around Pride Month, of course, which is when my birthday is. They issued for the first time a state of emergency. So state of emergency sounds pretty severe, right? Well, the state of emergency for the LGBTQ plus people were that states were passing laws that they didn't like, and or they were passing laws that they didn't feel went far enough. And that's, again, where I get in outside that LGB. Once you start getting into the TQs and all that stuff, there's so much more demanding to be accommodating in the most ridiculous ways. LGB, I remember those guys were like, hey, we just want to be with each other. We want to be able to get married and kind of live our own lives and do our own thing. And I think for the most part, everybody was like, that's fine. Even if it wasn't your thing, most people were like, not my thing, but you go for it. Have fun. Or even if it was, whatever, there wasn't as huge of a pushback as there is right now on the whole thing. So here's some of the things they say are good and bad. And you think about how it makes you feel, right? So it lists the states and it lists these different things, which they tell you which are good and bad, because for the LGBTQ plus community, some of these are good and some of these are bad. And they clearly have to tell you and color coordinate it so because, it changes on whatever day ends in Y sometimes. So let's look at this. So what do they consider good? Non-discrimination laws. Okay, I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's not discriminate. Conversion therapy ban. Well, there are plenty of people that came out of conversion therapy or whatever you want to call it, and they said, it was great. They really got a lot out of it. And then what is considered conversion therapy entirely? I think they can try to put a lot of stuff under that umbrella that's not necessarily related, and that's where you start getting into the murky territory, right? And let's go on to the bad. So you got gender affirming care ban. That is where you can mutilate children and allow yourself to be mutilated to become the gender that you are not. So they said banning that is bad. In my opinion, banning that's not a bad thing. Now, I will say this, though. I will say this. Anything an adult wants to do to themselves, I'm okay with. I don't care. If you want to chop off your body parts, go for it. If you want to call yourself another name, that's already been legal for a long time. Go for it. If you want to say you're a male or female or whatever, hey, you make yourself happy in your own head. Now, once you start applying that to society and you start making others have to agree with you that you are a female or you are a male or man, whatever. I know people say sex and gender are different. They're not. When you start making the society follow the rules that are in your own head and the reality that you've created, that's where I draw the line. Like, no. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want to. If two consenting adults want to get together, LGBT, straight, whatever, it doesn't matter. You could do that. Okay. But a lot of this, the gender affirming care ban, a lot of that is for children, for minors. That I have a problem with. And then we're going to see here in a minute, some of it is where they don't tell the parents and the parents aren't involved and they keep it a secret from the parents. That is absolutely off the table. I'm sorry, if my child's going through something, no one cares more about the well-being of my child than me. Me and my wife, that's it. The school may love her to death, and I know they do, and I know she's got good people there at school, but I swear, you guys don't love her and care for her well-being like me and her mother. And everyone else watching, if you have a child, you feel the exact same way. If you don't, you may be a crappy parent, okay? No one should love and care about your child more than you. All right, let's keep going. Bathroom ban, which means men using men's restrooms and women using women's restrooms. This goes back into my previous statement. If you want to say you're a man or a woman in your own head, that's fine. If it makes you feel better, go for it. But once you are a man going into the women's restroom where my wife or my child are, then we've got a problem, and I'm going to take care of it. Sports participation ban. Another one where I'm personally affected by here. My daughter plays sports. She plays soccer. She's looking at maybe even doing some other sports. She wants to play against other girls. In fact, that's where she shines, in her own league, just like men should be in their own league. So if boys are playing in girls soccer and they are whooping up on the girls, then that eliminates scholarship opportunities, funding opportunities, opportunities for them just to be successful at something, which is supposed to be teaching them teamwork and hard work and, all kinds of other stuff, which that's what sports do, especially in the youth. It teaches them so much that they can carry on throughout their life. Plus, again, scholarships and opportunities for colleges and stuff. I would love to not have to pay for college for my little girl if she wants to go. If she got through on a sports or what was the other one? Academic scholarship, which at this point I think she could do either one. Would love to see that ride out and keep going. But if we got boys in there playing with the girls, that's not fair. So I don't think sports participation ban is a bad thing. But again, I'm not for the insanity that goes with this community. LGBTQ plus erasure law. Not really sure what that means. Don't say LGBTQ law. That doesn't exist. I watched a video of the lady that I think she's the CEO or president of or whatever of this group. And she said, the infamous don't say gay bill in Florida. It didn't say don't say gay anywhere in it. That's what you idiots called it. It's not true. It's not what it was. You can say gay all you want to. It had other restrictions in it that you didn't like. So you lied and portrayed it as something that it was not. You're full of it. You're liars. You're deceitful. I know someone who in the Bible is like that. The next one, pronoun refusal law. Now, look. I'm not going to go out of my way to be a jerk, but if I look at you and you're a dude, and I'm going to reference you as a dude. If I can make accommodations and not call you a dude and reference you as a she or a her, if my mind will work that way, I may very well do that. It's not reality, but I may. Now, if you start saying they or them or z or zer, I ain't doing all that. I'm just not, because it's all made up. It's fictional. It's false. Just as much as she, her is for a he, him. But I mean, I might try. I'm not going to go out of my way to be disrespectful. How about that? That's what I'm saying. So the law, I don't know, whatever. Forced student outing law. Absolutely. If your child is LGBTQ and your school knows it, I don't say it's their job to out your child in that, but if they are wanting to transition or have body mutilation or anything along those lines, yes, you as a parent should be involved in that conversation, which shouldn't exist at all. I mean, you should not be going through with it, obviously, but yes, they should be forced to out your student in that case. Now, I'm okay with not outing if they're gay or something like that. That's something that they should do on their own. It's a very sensitive thing. Again, I know a lot of people like that. I know some people that still haven't exactly come out yet. I have one very close friend that's gay. I think he said him and his dad haven't actually said the words, but it's just kind of known, and they don't really talk about it. You know, it is, and they get along just fine for the most part. But it's just a very it's a very sensitive thing, and I'm agreeing with this in the sense of, yeah, I don't think it's anybody's job to out anyone as far as that goes. But if it is something like, I want to transition, I want to body mutilate, I want to hormone replacement, yes, it is not your position. You have to out that decision to the parents. Hands down, absolutely 100%. Anti-drag ban. Drag queen shows, I've heard, are very fun for women and guys who like them to go to, and I think that's great. I think that's fine. You know, bars are great places to go to, but there are also places where children aren't allowed, kind of like drag shows. And there's a lot of people, and I think someone my wife has told me about personally that she knows or follows or something. It's like, look, I've been a drag queen for a long time. It ain't a place for kids. Never has been, never will be. It was always a place for us as gays to go out and play, dress up and have fun and just be crazy. Kids don't need to be there. And I don't disagree with that at all. I agree. Kids should not be at these drag shows, especially the ones that are being outed. And the fact that drag shows are canceling their shows when they find out children can't come to them, what does that tell you? Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive into that. I'm just saying. Makes you kind of wonder a little bit the direction these guys are wanting to go in. So let's go back to this. So that's who the Human Rights Campaign are. And of course, most all of their funding comes from Democrats. I saw a chart on that. It's like 100% come from Democrats, 0% from Republicans. There was 5% from Republicans, but this is all Democrat based. So understand that their funding comes from Democrats, and they're going to turn around and do a blitz for Biden, who is a Democrat. Now, I couldn't find where our government uses our tax dollars to give any kind of funds or grants or anything to them. I don't think they do. I wasn't able to find that. But I know there's other organizations out there, like we fund, so much toward Planned Parenthood. And then Planned Parenthood turns around and gives to like a PAC or gives to whatever for fundraising for the Democrat Party. So our tax dollars are then being rerouted to the Democrat Party. I hate that. That should never, ever happen. If you are getting tax dollars for your organization, your business, your 501c3, whatever it is, you should be ineligible to donate as an organization, ineligible to donate to a political party, because then it's just those tax dollars that my money is now going to a political party I may or may not side with. And I'd rather have that in my pocket, to be honest. But let's just read a little bit about this. And again, we're going to go back to the swing states in another section here in a little bit. There he is. He loves him some LGBTQ stuff, doesn't he? That's the man, the myth, the legend right there. He has no idea he's holding a microphone. And why does he always hold a microphone when there's other microphones in front of him? I've never seen anyone else do that as far as like presidents go. There's a lot that he does that I've never seen other presidents do. Moving on. And I'm not going to read through this entire article. I don't think. Yeah, no, I'll kind of skim through it a little bit. All right. I messed your eyes up just now. The Human Rights Campaign, largest LGBTQ rights group in the United States, is launching a $15 million commitment to help Democrat President Joe Biden defeat Republican Donald Trump in the 2024 election, which to be fair, I think is a waste of money. The spending blitz shared first with NBC News will cover the 6 key battleground states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. The group says it will include paid ads, staff hires, field campaigns, and events in those states, which are poised to decide who wins the presidency and Congress. And after crunching the numbers, the organization sees warning signs in the form of soft support for Biden in the 2024 electorate. No kidding. HRC estimates that this year there will be 75 million equality voters who vote based on support for the LGBTQ rights, up from 62 million in 2020 and 52 million in 2016. But the group says 1/3 of them aren't a lock for Biden. In the 6 key swing states, hundreds of thousands are at risk of not voting, and another group of hundreds of thousands of voters are what HRC refers to as double doubters, who will likely defect to a third party, according to data HRC shared with NBC News. I will say this as a reminder to my LGB or LGBTQ friends. Donald Trump was the first president to go into the office pro-gay rights, pro-gay marriage, whatever. He was the first. Obama didn't do it. Bush, Clinton, none of them. Trump was the first one to go in and be all like, hey, love who you love. But they're going to go out and they're going to paint him as the bad guy. Now, remember this, too. They're talking about LGBTQ rights being at risk and equality voters and everything. Now, what they're asking for, again, this is not equality. We want to have boys playing on the girls' teams. We want to have men going into the women's restrooms. We want to be able to surgically mutilate and chemically castrate your children. This is not equality that they're looking for. Again, there's laws that they want that protect them, and there's laws that don't go far enough. And I will say this about a lot of the stuff on the left. I don't see this on the right as much. And again, this may be my personal bias showing, but the goalposts always move. Nothing is ever good enough. Nothing ever is ever far enough. And what doesn't offend someone today is very likely to offend somebody tomorrow. It's a never-ending cycle or goalpost shifting of what's good enough, what's right, what's wrong in the minds of liberals, and especially the LGBTQ community, which feels like they've got the ball and they're running with it right now because we've let them. They have gotten more rights, gotten away with more, made more ground in a shorter period of time than Black Americans. Black Americans who fought for their rights for so long. They have equal rights now, still struggling from, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents that didn't have them. But the LGBTQ people just went, knocked down the door and like, we're going to take over everything. And we're going to be in all your movies, and we're going to run Hollywood, and we're going to, be your teachers, and you're going to agree with us, or else we're going to oust you as homophobe, this and that, make you lose your job and your livelihood and your ability to support your family. Like, where did all this come from? I know gay people have always been around, even back to like the Roman times and stuff, right? I mean, forever. There's always been homosexuality. But all this other crap, come on, man. Let's keep rolling. Let's go down here. I saw some numbers earlier, I think, that may be interesting. Maybe not. That dude there stirred the hornet's nest, didn't he? All right. I saw some percentages down here. Maybe that's the other. No, here it is. Among the equality voters, it identified, HRC said 62% are younger than 40, 50% are non-white, and 70% are women. The risks of defecting from Biden, not voting, or voting third party are especially pronounced with those cohorts, according to HRC. That finding is consistent with recent surveys that show Biden struggling with young and non-white voters, a key reason he trails Trump in a head-to-head matchup in many national and swing state polls. HRC said an estimated 2,200 LGBTQ people turn 18 every day, which presents opportunities to register new voters. Gen Z voters in particular need to see more from the president, Robinson said. So there are a lot of gay people that are voting for Trump. A lot of gay people that are voting for Trump. When you look at things like immigration, and this is a word salad or word manipulation that the left likes to use. They say conservatives are against immigration. Trump is against immigration. No one is against immigration. No one I've ever heard of on the conservatives side is against immigration. We're against illegal immigration. And then you may say, well, no one's illegal. Well, no one's calling them an illegal human being. They're an illegal immigrant. If they come into this country in any way that's not the legal way of doing it, the legal correct way of doing it, then yes, they have broken the law. They are then an illegal immigrant or illegal alien. Suck on that. But then if you look at people who came through the points of entry that passed all the tests, that did everything like they were supposed to, they're the number one staunch advocates for putting up the wall, for getting these people back, because they did it the right way, and they don't want to see these people take advantage of a system that they care about and they follow the rules to. It's the same thing with the LGBTQ community. You've got these LGBT people that have earned their rights, that have done what they've had to do, that are living in a wonderful society with Trump, as president. The economy is good. Things are great. Nobody's giving anybody a hard time except for him, obviously. And then you got the TQ plus IAS and all these folks coming and say, no, we want more, we want more, we want more. Well, they've gone so far to the left and so far, as far as, what we were just looking at, as far as, going to the bathroom and gender affirming and all this and that. Like, so many gay people are like, we don't want nothing to do with that. Life was good under Trump. We recognize that. We're voting for Trump. Now, look, you may be watching right now and you either don't know who you're voting for, or you know exactly who you're voting for. I don't care. I'm giving you my perspective on it. I think the whole LGBTQ plus IA whatever community has gone haywire. I think it's lost its purpose. It's lost its point. It's something it's not like Black Lives Matter, which is a legit organization. When I say legit organization, it's stupid too, but it's an actual organization. LGBTQ is just a community. Like, anyone can fit into this community if you're any of these letters right here. And it's not what it was ever originally kind of formed as. You know what I mean? Like, people that belonged, and now they're starting to throw everybody else in the mix. It's like when you start throwing fruit into a salad, or, salad into meat. Nobody wants that rabbit food. My point is, there are people that think that you haven't gone far enough, people that are always moving the goalpost, and they're going to be in your face out there trying to get votes for Biden. And that's fine. But don't think that just because you're, like Biden said, if you don't know if you're going to vote for me or not, or Trump, you ain't black. Don't think you got to be voting for Biden if you're in the LGBTQ community. You go look at what life was like under Trump versus Biden and make your own decision. If you're an undecided voter, make your own decision. You're going to listen to me. You're going to listen to a lot of other people that are going to have their own biases. I'm a right-leaning conservative Christian dude from the South. I'm definitely going to have my biases, but I'm telling you right now, no, I'm not doing that. Do your own research, figure out who you want to vote for. Don't let other people tell you who you are, who you're going to vote for, and who you should align with. It's stupid. It's stupid. Be your own person. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Hey, guys, thanks for checking out this clip from the Morning Mayhem. Remember, this is just a portion of the full show that comes out every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you hadn't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the full shows or these tasty little nuggets.